Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Deep Impact Podcast, and we are calling this one the Soft Landing. So we're trying something new with the podcast. We're going to stick with the draft, but we're going to be doing that every other week, and then the weeks in between, we're going to kind of go off topic, just kind of bullshit with the boys. So that's what this episode is going to be. And if you're watching on YouTube or on Spotify, you can see that we're down a member. Mr. Mark Carson is a little under the weather, just dealing with some allergies and stuff. But that does not change the fact that I am still your host, Mr. Bo Walker. And I am also joined. Mark is a lying sack of shit right now. I apologize for the language. I just got a notification. Mark is on Xbox.
That freaking little bastard. In his defense, he feels fine, but
his voice
he's super congested, and if he talks a whole lot, he coughs a lot. So
okay,
sounds like he has a man cold to me.
Yeah, he gets a pass this week. He better be here next week. But I'm also joined by Mr. James Piazza and Mr. Jason Cephas.
Hi. Hey yo.
And Jason, you got your water, buddy? Wait.
No, I don't. We're going.
Sports drink. All right. Mr. Piazza, what are you drinking?
Got the peach Aldi wine.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
It is just like the watermelon and just like the strawberry. Perfect.
I am currently drinking some Buffalo Trace bourbon.
Is that a Death Star ice piece?
No, it just conveniently cracked in the form of the Death Star.
No, is it just spherical?
Yeah, they're just ice molds that I bought from Marshall's, and it just cracked. It had a crack right in the middle.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, I have some of the Death Star ice molds. Yeah. They don't work as well as they should, but they're still pretty cool.
Yeah, but so speaking of Star Wars and speaking of bourbon, we got a couple things that we just want to touch on. Kind of a topic, but kind of not. So Jason, do you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
Let's have you go first, just because mine's probably going to be a little bit longer. So
okay. So this past weekend, my wife and I made a trip to, I don't want to say the great city of Cincinnati, but the city of Cincinnati, and we went to go see the great Garth Brooks.
You didn't make the extra trip to come out and see me.
I apologize, but we did go to Kentucky.
Oh boy.
It was kind of not halfway. But we went and saw Garth Brooks. And if anybody ever has the chance to see this man perform, I highly recommend it. Even if you're not a country music fan, Friends in Low Places, Call in Baton Rouge. And
I don't know that song, and I like Garth Brooks.
You need to listen to Call in Baton Rouge, James. He sang that song, and I could not hear him because that stadium was that loud.
That's crazy.
He sang The River, and that there were very few lights on the stage just pointing down at him because it was just him and his guitar. And you could see every single person in that stadium because of the amount of flashlights. The concert was delayed because of a storm. I sat in traffic for 3 hours to go 4 city blocks. Kind of put a little damper on it, but other than that, it was a great experience. And then we went into Kentucky, went to the Buffalo Trace distillery where I picked up some more bourbon.
Was it just you two that went down and explored? That's cool.
Yeah, but I wanted to take a tour of the distillery, but their tours are booked all the way through July. And they do a tour, like they show you, they roll the barrels, everything. And their distillery is actually a National Historic Landmark. So, it's a very old distillery. They make some of the best bourbon that I've ever had. And it was really cool. And then the last thing that we did was on our way home, we stopped at the infamous Jungle Gyms, or the famous Jungle Gyms. And we spent like 3 hours in that grocery store. It was, how many grocery stores do you guys know that hand out maps when you walk in? It was absolutely ridiculous, man. Like, they have 14,000 different types of wine.
That's a lot.
They have 4,000 different types of beer. They have a bar that you can go in and drink while you're there.
That sounds awesome. That sounds like something. That sounds like something Ohio would never do.
Yeah, they have 2 locations too. That's the thing.
Where's the other one?
The one's in the one that we went to is in Fairfield, and then there's one right outside of Cincinnati.
Okay.
They're both down by Cincinnati.
Yeah.
It was incredible. Like just the amount of food that you see from around the world. Like I spent like almost $200 in there, and all I did was just buy like junk. Like we bought all these different types of potato chips from like Japan and China. One of them is spicy crawfish. Like,
was it worth the $10 you spent on that one chip?
No, they were like the bags were only like $2 a bag. Everything was surprisingly reasonably priced. They have every section from around the world. Like they had a China section, India, Nepal, Holland, like all these different countries.
Holland's not a country anymore, Bo. Geez, geography degree.
He literally said Holland on the sign, James. You know what I mean. They have all these different places. Like we bought truffle risotto just because Maddie saw it and it was like, oh, it's from Italy, truffles. Like it was really
mushrooms
cool.
in my mind.
Exactly. But I will definitely try to go back. I don't know if it's worth a 3-hour drive, but it's right outside of Kings Island. Like you take the Kings Island exit near there. But it was very fun, very good bourbon. Cheers.
I will say the panoramic picture of the stadium you got was a really cool shot.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was really good.
Speaking of that, I'll post that from our Deep Impact page so everyone can see. There were 80,000 people in that stadium.
Wow.
When they
I didn't realize it was that big because Heinz Field's like only like 66 at max capacity. I didn't realize Paul Brown was that big.
During when they had to cancel the previous concert due to COVID, and I think it was 2020, they said they refunded 70,000 tickets.
Wow.
And then there were 80,000 people at this concert. I think I've been to 2 concerts since COVID. The first one was Jason Aldean. Nope, never go back. You
just don't like him as a performer or what?
Not as much as I like Garth Brooks.
Wow.
But like, honestly, Garth Brooks has ruined me for regular country music now. For not regular, but like modern country music. The only one I think that can compete might be Luke Combs.
What about Kenny Chesney? Doesn't he always put on a good show?
He does put on a good show. He's more of Maddie's speed. Like he does put on a really good show. I had a good time at Kenny Chesney, but no.
I've never like gone to a country concert, which I haven't gone to that many, where I've been like, oh my gosh, well, I've only been to the one. And then if you count Jimmy Buffett, I don't. Dirks and then Jimmy Buffett. But like, I like the atmosphere and the hanging out and the tailgating and the partying better than I like the actual concert.
Yeah,
usually
it was an experience though. Like it was amazing. I still listen to Garth Brooks. Like I'm listening to every single one of his songs in order now.
Do you have his CDs or does he like have his music digitally anywhere? Amazon Music. I don't freaking have
that is the only place that you can listen to Garth Brooks music. And fun fact about that, when he came out on stage, they had a big, tunnel so that no one could see him. He came up from under the drum set, the drum set lifted up and he's underneath it. And
cool as fuck.
When he came out, the stage on the screen, it said Amazon with a little thing or music and had the Amazon logo. And then it said Alexa, and all the lights in the stadium turned blue like an Amazon Alexa went around it and said play Garth in Cincinnati. And then it playing Garth in Cincinnati. And then it started.
Dumb.
It was awesome though. Like,
yeah, but like I like how his shtick for years was, I'm not going to sell out. I'm not going to sell out to a digital platform. Oh yeah, here, let me sign out to the biggest company in the fucking world.
Yeah, but seriously, I'll send you the video, James, and you're just sitting there, and it's like,
oh, I'm sure it was awesome.
It's a completely dark stadium, and then there's just these blue lights going, and you're just hearing Alexa's voice, and then All Day Long starts playing. Is awesome.
I don't know that one either. I don't know a lot of his music unless it's music that like plays on the radio that I've heard or somebody's played for me, because I can't get Garth Brooks's music anywhere. I don't know it.
So you said you didn't know Colin Baton Rouge. When we're done here, get on YouTube. I'm giving you a little piece of homework. It'll take you 4 minutes.
You can find it on YouTube?
Yeah, you can find it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
This is a fan video on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. I'm not watching anything live. I want a studio.
Well, this is like, so he sang Colin Baton Rouge in Death Valley at LSU Stadium in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and it actually measured on the Richter scale.
I'm sure.
It was amazing. Like, okay, I'm done. Guys, take it away.
Well, speaking of going to events, July 14th, your boy's going to go see Steve-O when he is at the Capitol Theater in Wheeling. Yeah.
Why is Steve-O coming to Wheeling?
He's coming to the Capitol.
It's part of his tour.
Why? Really? His tour
is
spread that thin? Jeez. I thought that dude was doing well.
He is.
That's why he can go to these smaller venues and stuff.
If you're doing that well, you come to
who are you going with?
My dad.
Are you?
I didn't even know about it until my mom sent me a pic, and I've been looking at his schedule tour, like, because I've been wanting to go, and I just must have missed it. It must have been a late edition, something, I don't know. But my mom texted me with a screenshot of that, and I was like, holy crap. I was like, I must have really missed that. And she was like, well, you and Dad now have tickets. And I was like, okay. So I didn't even have to ask. So thanks, Mom.
Yeah, Maddie sent it to me, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. Like, I would love to, I don't know, like, he's funny and everything. I don't know if I could do this show.
Dude, I'm so excited.
I'm sure you could, but that would never be something that I'd pay for to go see personally.
He has everybody. You have to sign a waiver when you walk in.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's afraid of getting sued. He's afraid of getting sued. That's
but like, what does he do to the audience?
He doesn't do anything to the audience.
He doesn't do anything.
So why do you have to sign a waiver?
It's
that you're not going to sue him from what you see.
Yeah. It's his comedy show, and then
is it like just
and then
vulgar? Is that all it is?
Yeah,
I mean, it's Steve-O, so yeah, it's going to be vulgar.
Yeah, but does he like? I mean, what can he be sued for? What, like public nudity or whatever? I mean, is that just about it?
He sometimes does get naked. So
yeah, I mean, is that the only thing? I can't think of anything else that he would do on stage.
I'm pretty sure
you could.
I'm pretty sure one of his comedy shows. I'm pretty sure one of his comedy shows was. I don't know if it still is, but there was one on Netflix, and oh my god, it was hilarious. Like me and my dad watched it.
Now here's my question: was the comedy actually funny, or was it just funny because Steve-O was doing his jackass stuff?
I mean, he's a funny dude.
Like just some of his stories, like
really? Okay.
The stories that his stories are hilarious. Like oh my. God,
yeah, he did a story where he snorted AIDS cocaine one time, and that just like blew my mind how someone could be that desperate. But hey,
what did you?
And it was like,
did you say AIDS cocaine?
Yeah. He ended up he tells this whole story. It's on YouTube that he essentially went to his drug dealer's house, couldn't find him, and the dude was like nowhere to be found. So he just scraped up some of the residue that was on the dude's table so he can get another hit. And he did it, and then later he found out that somebody had bled on it, or he saw that there was blood on it, but he wanted to get high so bad that he just snorted it anyway. He found out later that dude. Whoever bled on it had HIV, so he snorted AIDS cocaine.
Wow.
Off a drug table.
Wow.
Can't say that I've done the same thing.
And now he is clean and sober.
Oh yeah, he's stone cold sober. He is like
Yeah. And because one of the things he talked about in that show on Netflix was his intervention. Because his intervention was set up by Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah.
And Steve-O was like, you have a problem when Johnny Knoxville sets up your own intervention. And he's like, that's when I knew I needed to quit. I mean,
it's cool too, though, because it's like those are the people that I can, and there's more to it than just like respecting those people. But like, I don't care what you were into, but if you end up having like the mental fortitude to be able to totally quit when it is time for you to quit, and get the resources and the help and the rehab that you need, and put your nose to the grindstone and just. And again, I know there's a lot more to it. Some people can't do that, but if you have the resources and you're able to, and you go through with it, you stick to being sober, you never let it control your life again. You never fall back on the wagon or fall off the wagon. Like that to me, like it elevates you so much more. Like,
yeah, and that was the thing. A lot of the cast members went sober after Ryan Dunn passed away.
Yeah. Well,
that
they even kicked Bam off because he was drinking on set or whatever of the new movie.
Yeah.
And
that was a big.
He just announced on Instagram or whatever. He's officially 1 year sober.
Who?
Bam Margera.
Damn.
So he's doing better than he was, you know.
Yeah, and again, I mean, I don't want it to sound like I'm shaming people that go through struggles like that, like dependencies, because those are worlds where if you're not in that situation, you can't, or you were never in that situation, you can't like even fathom how crazy and intense it is to get past the withdrawals of something you've done for 20, 30, 40 years. Yeah. But still, it just, because the reason I bring that up is because it's like a singer that you probably know, Bo. I don't think you know, Jason. George Jones, the country music singer. He was one of the biggest drunks in country music. I mean, he wrote so many songs about it. They could never get him sober in the studio. But once he decided to go sober, he was sober the last 12, 15 years of his life and never touched a drop of alcohol again. Whereas like a bunch of the ones that like kept getting on and off the wagon and kept struggling. I mean, Johnny Cash is one of, probably my favorite artist of all time. And he fell off all the time. But you know, it just crazy for the ones that are able to stick with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, and that will be a Thursday night, so I will not be on this episode or on that episode. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, me and my dad grew up watching those movies, and
I can imagine watching those movies with my parents.
He's the reason. My dad's the reason why I got into them. So
I've seen all of them except for the newest one.
Yeah, like we went to go see it in theaters.
Yeah.
And I mean, we laughed the entire time. So like, it's kind of one of those things where like, obviously, you know, me and him have the Nailers, and we have that, and you know, we have Star Wars that we bond over. So like anything like that, anything that we can just bond with and do together is, I mean,
absolutely,
that's always a win.
No, absolutely. I completely understand that.
Definitely.
That's what my dad, when he was still alive, we would go every Tuesday when I was at Eastern Gateway. I would have Tuesdays off of school and he would have Tuesdays off work. So we would go get breakfast every morning at either Sunny Boy or we'd go to the Willow. And then we would go, then we would go golf, go hit 18 holes. And that was fun. Those are fun times. I completely understand it.
Did you you lived with him still at that time though, right? So
but then even when I went to West Lib, there were days that I wouldn't have class until the evening on Tuesdays, and we would still go.
That's cool.
We would still go hit. He would meet me, like he would just meet me at Ogilby, you know, and we would go.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, those were fun times.
Because I mean, obviously, like, you know, my dad was into hunting and fishing and all that. I never really got around to that.
Me
as
either.
Much.
Same.
So
I mean, I did. I'll fish. Like I enjoy fishing every now and then. I have to be in the mood. But hunting, there's something about sitting out in the woods for hours waiting for something that might not come. I'd rather just drive to Walmart.
Yeah. That's why, like, my favorite part of both those activities is the drinking part, drinking while you're waiting, not actually doing the activity. So it's like, if I'm gonna go fishing, I'm not taking a pole, I'm taking a cooler, and then I'm just hanging out with everybody until it's time to go. Same thing. I've never been hunting, but you know,
while you're hunting.
Well, if I don't shoot, I don't care.
I went hunting a couple times with my dad. We didn't see anything, and then I went hunting once with my grandpa, and I missed the deer. And then we went squirrel hunting, me and my grandpa, and we probably brought back like 5 or 6 squirrels.
Do you eat them?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Oh, really? Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure that's a normal thing, and just to me, that sounds gross.
No, it was delicious. I've eaten that. I've eaten rabbit. I've eaten groundhog. I've eaten deer.
No, thank you.
They actually had Jungle Jim's had an exotic meat section, and almost bought alligator steaks.
I was gonna say. I mean, you've had stuff like that before, though, haven't you? Where the hell sells them around us? Is it what Giant Eagle sells some exotic
Kroger,
stuff? And,
Kroger does up by Robinson.
I know Cabela's does, but
no, like they had alligator steaks. Almost bought those for me and Mark. Maddie wouldn't have ate it. Antelope, ground ostrich for burgers. Yeah. See, you guys. Well, I'm talking to two of the pickiest eaters in the freaking world right now.
Yeah, but Jason so eats meat, so
yeah.
Jason will eat a burger. Yeah,
with no cheese, right? Right? You don't eat cheese?
No, just lettuce, pickle, man. That's all you need.
Lettuce, pickle, and beef.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Do you at least put like mustard or ketchup on it?
Yeah. I put ketchup on it. I'm not a peasant. I put ketchup on it.
I'm not a peasant.
Jeez.
Oh.
All right. So now that we finished up our talking about bourbon and
Steve-O,
yes, that's what else we were talking
about. Garth Brooks.
I'm sorry. This is my second drink tonight. I've had a rough day at work today. So now we're gonna talk about what?
You gotta go in tomorrow.
Yeah, that's why I'm having 2 of these.
So have 6.
And
bring a bucket.
Now we're going to talk about Star Wars.
Yay! Yeah. So a lot of stuff has come up recently, obviously with the Kenobi show coming next week and Star Wars Celebration. 2 days ago, Vanity Fair released a ton of stuff regarding Star Wars. And before we get to kind of the meat and potatoes of this discussion, which is the rough release dates for the upcoming shows and movies and all that. Part of the Vanity Fair article talking to Kathleen Kennedy about Solo. So before I start, what were your guys' opinions on Solo?
You want my honest opinion?
Yeah.
James is muted. Do you want my honest opinion? Yeah, let me give you my honest opinion real quick first, Jason.
Okay.
I didn't see it.
Okay, that's fair.
I saw it once, so I'm not much better.
You saw it solo times.
No, that was awful.
I know.
That was terrible. How long were you waiting for that? Jeez.
A while. Can you put a rim shot in there at some point? But no, I did not see it. I saw who was in the movie. I never got around to actually seeing it. If it's on Disney, is it on Disney Plus?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I might have to go back and watch it one day.
Yeah.
I did see though.
That's how I found out who Childish Gambino was.
Yep, Childish Gambino. I did see who was the other one that was in it. Oh God, what's her name?
Amelia Clark.
Amelia Clark.
Amelia. I'm in the middle of rewatching Game of Thrones, and I wanted to call her Daenerys.
I've seen the first 11 episodes of that show.
I just finished my the 5th season of it, and I'm
ready.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Wow, you just started this like a week ago.
No, I do 2 episodes a night, buddy. It's great show. HBO Max. I'll send it to you.
I don't have HBO Max.
I'll send you my stuff.
Okay.
I'll create a profile on there for you.
Don't let HBO Max hear us.
Yeah, Jason, cut this out.
I got you.
Kyle already has a profile on my thing. He has my HBO and I have his Paramount.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's what me and Mark do. So
yeah, exactly.
Well, you guys live in the same house. That's a little different.
Yeah,
well, true. But yeah, so James? What was your opinion on it? I know you only saw it once, but
yeah, from what I can remember, it's I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the story just a little bit better than I did most of the main 3 sequels, but I think that's just because it's my expectations for it was lower. And like I said, I liked what they did with a lot of the older characters. I don't feel like they didn't really disrespect any of the characters in the movie. So I didn't mind it. And it was a good enough story to where it was entertaining. I have not gone back and watched it since, so I don't know. I clearly don't love it.
I highly recommend it. I really enjoyed it. However, it bombed at the box office bad.
Damn.
And
did not know
in this Vanity Fair article, Kathleen Kennedy said it was because they did not deep fake the actor who portrayed Han Solo.
Deep fake how?
Yeah, can you explain that?
So
deepfakes are usually like for people that are like dead or people that you can't get to sign on to something legally.
So kind of like what they did with Luke in The Mandalorian. Where they
just made him look younger.
Yeah. And Kathleen Kennedy said that was the reason why Solo bombed.
No, the actor looked enough like a young Han Solo to where that didn't matter for the end or for Rogue One. Tarkin,
yes,
that was a good example because he didn't have a ton of screen time. The dude's been dead for how many years? Like, obviously, he's very, very iconic. You deepfake a little bit to do it. A Carrie Fisher at the end, if that would have been better at Rogue One, that's something you do because it's very short. When you have a movie with a whole character, like the fans will understand if you have to replace them, if it's just physically impossible to get the original actor because Harrison Ford's been aged out for how many years. So
can I go back to something real quick? Carrie Fisher in Rogue One.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Leia at the end.
When she was younger.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler
alert to those who haven't seen the beginning of the original Star Wars, A New Hope. They show her getting on the main ship and receiving the plans. That's how Rogue One ends.
I was thinking of whichever one where she gets sucked out and then she gets pulled back in right after it was after
that was
Last Jedi.
That's what I was thinking.
We don't talk about that movie.
We don't talk about.
No, that was actually.
We don't talk about any of those movies.
That was actually Carrie Fisher, though. That was not a deepfake version.
Yes.
But yeah, and so
Wait, when did she die? Sorry,
16?
2016.
With the December of 16.
Was it after production had wrapped?
I think so, because I think Rogue One came out in 16, because it was the year after Force Awakens, which was 15.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, because they did the trilogy 15, 17, 19.
Okay.
Yeah. And then for Rise of Skywalker, they used all of Carrie Fisher's unused footage from the previous two movies to do all of her scenes in the Rise of Skywalker.
Okay, you're right. I just looked up the dates. Yep, you're absolutely right.
But so Kathleen Kennedy saying that, and she was trending on Twitter yesterday all day because of it. Again, trending on Twitter, but all for the wrong things, all for the wrong reasons. Why would you say that? First of all, like, why? He did a good job at portraying Han Solo. Like,
you can't physically change people is the thing. Like, you can only do so much with makeup. You can only do so much. Like, in all honesty, if you replace a character and you just do your best, but you actually write the character well, I'd rather have the character written more like the actual character than the actor or actress look like the original. Like, to me, that's what's important. I don't give a shit how close it looks like them if they're two different people.
So there's a YouTuber out there called Shamuk who does deepfakes, and he does really good deepfakes, good enough that Disney has since hired him to work on deepfakes. So
did he change the Grand Inquisitor in the in the trailer for Kenobi?
No, he's still Humpty Dumpty looking Grand Inquisitor.
Cue ball looking fuck.
But anyway. So Shamuk did a deep fake from Solo with Harrison Ford's face during one of the scenes, and Alden's mannerisms and his walk and his his words, like, I mean, they were spot on. And that, like you said, that's what's important.
Yeah.
And it's not like he doesn't look like him. It's not like he's this really short, fat, blonde dude.
Yeah,
like, I mean, he looks enough like him to where it's like, that doesn't matter.
Yeah. And so it just makes no sense for why she thinks that's, well, I have a feeling why. Because I think the only reason, or not the only reason, but I think a large reason why Solo did bomb so bad was because it came right after The Last Jedi.
Yeah. No, I agree completely.
That was the movie that made the fandom go and split. And it's something that they're still trying to fix to this day.
Yeah.
And so I think that had a large reason, if not the biggest reason, why it did as bad as it did. But her saying that, I would have rather her said, we knew, we realized we messed up, and it didn't do so well because the previous movie and all that. She would never do that.
I was gonna say, you can't call that out from a business perspective, though. One thing that I've realized in my opinion about Kathleen Kennedy is, it's like, I don't like her. I don't agree with really anything that she does, but from a business, I agree, but from a business perspective, I think she has a decent head on her shoulders just because of everything that she has seen. She's worked hand in hand with George Lucas longer than any of us have been alive. She worked on all 3 Indiana Jones movies as a producer. She worked very, very closely. I don't know if it was all the way back to the original trilogy or not. I don't know if she was there for Jedi.
I don't think she was.
But I know that very shortly after that, she was there for the Raiders of the Lost Ark. But
like those, she did.
It's like she's been there. She has an idea for this kind of stuff. But like when it comes to making the entire decisions per individual production, I just don't think that she has I think she's, I don't know, spent her time to say. Like, I think it's time to give somebody else a chance.
She even said that she doesn't really, Star Wars isn't her forte. She said that in the article.
And I mean, and that's awesome for her to be. I respect her for being honest, but
I just put Dave in and just make Dave in charge of everything.
The Pittsburgh Space Cowboy, please.
Yeah,
please.
Even
if he doesn't touch a movie set, make him the creative director. Just give him that title and give him at least some sort of authority over projects that are in this universe. And you know what? That's all he needs. People respect him enough within the community and within the industry at this point now, because of all his work on Mando and Clone Wars, that things will. They're never going to be perfect. I mean, no person can be perfect, but they're going to be good enough for everybody to be happy with what happens.
Yep. So. Yeah. I mean, Dave is George Lucas's apprentice.
This is Dave Filoni we are talking about, correct?
Yeah. The person nobody knows unless you love Star Wars.
I was going to say just so that everybody else knows who we're talking about.
Yeah.
So moving on, there are the release dates for the shows.
Oh, we're getting fancy with it tonight.
Was somewhat released.
Jeez, you want to do that again?
Yes.
No, I don't.
For the people watching on YouTube and Spotify, you can see what we're talking about. I don't know why it took us this long to finally use this, but we're doing it now.
I thought it still wanted
21st century.
So, basically, obviously, it starts with Kenobi coming out next week. Oh, man, I'm so excited for the show.
It's next week. It is next week. It's like 8 days.
So, have you guys heard about the leaked ending from Kenobi yet?
Nope. Want to. Never.
I haven't. Care. Okay, so I don't know what the leak is, but all I've heard is that people aren't happy with it. So
who cares? I'm just gonna watch it with no expectations.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm still going in cautiously optimistic because I still think this is their make or break show for Star Wars. But so Kenobi next week. She starts
next Friday. So by the time we put this episode out, it'll be on Friday.
Yeah, I'll be ready.
Yep, I'll be up at 3 a.m. for the watch parties.
Jeez,
I will not.
I wish.
I'm that committed, man.
I have to work in the morning, and I don't want to get up any earlier than I have to.
Well, that's fair.
Hey, it would only be 2 a.m. for me, so
yeah,
true.
Usually, what time you go to sleep, isn't it, James?
Yeah, pretty close.
And then we got Andor, which a lot of people slept on this show.
I'm just learning about this now. So.
I'm pretty excited for it.
What is this one about, Jason? Please enlighten us.
So it's a spinoff from Rogue One, Cassian Andor, who was one of the characters in Rogue One.
The guy that have you seen Rogue One?
Yeah.
It's the guy that helped Jin.
Yeah. I recognize the dude.
So they're doing a show. I believe it takes place before Kenobi. So we're still we're in that time period that they're really focusing in on between episodes 3 and 4.
Where there was so much ambiguity for so many years that it's finally with the start of Rebels and it just started to clear it up.
Yeah, and that is one of the most interesting time periods in Star Wars because so much is going on. The Empire's moving in.
It's the full-on reign of the Empire. It's the Empire at its peak.
Yeah. So I think, and there's a rumor that Ewan McGregor, Obi-Wan Kenobi, is going to be in this show too as a cameo.
He's got to be. He's got to be. They did all this filming. They're coming out at the same time. They had to be like, hey, do 2 days worth of shoots for this.
Mandalorian Season 3, late 2020 or early 2023. I'll be honest, I'll be kind of surprised if it comes out later this year. If it does, I think it'll be one of the situations like Book of Boba Fett was, and it'll come out December 27th or something like that. So it'll start 2022 and then just jump right into 2023. But that's going to be really interesting.
Yeah, obviously, I'm curious where they're going to take the show because of the ending of Boba. So it's because they did so much of a tie-in. Boba essentially became the Mando season 2.5. So they literally reference that. Oh my gosh, I didn't even see that. That's funny.
So obviously, Mando's going to be going back to Mandalore and trying to become a Mandalorian again, so we're gonna see how that's gonna unfold. So that's fun. Bad Batch season 2, we don't know.
I'm so excited. Did they at least announce this?
Announce what? Season 2?
That Bad Batch season 2 is a thing.
Oh yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it's confirmed. We just don't know when it's going. I actually think Bad Batch is coming out this year.
Right.
I think after Kenobi, I think Bad Batch season 2 picks up.
That'd be so good. Oh, I need more D. Bradley Baker in my life.
2023, we get the Ahsoka show.
So stoked for this.
I'm excited for this one. Hayden Christensen as Darth Vader will be in it. So, that's all you need to know right there.
Yeah. I don't know. Again, this will really put Rosario Dawson on the spot. How well she can emulate Ashley Eckstein's voice and passion that she puts into it, that she put into the character.
I think she'll do good.
And she might. To this point in the stuff that's been released so far, I don't love it. I'm still Team Eckstein, but Rosario Dawson's such a good actor that it's you've got to give her time, and just hope for the best.
And then we get Taika Waititi's movie.
We don't know what the movie is.
Oh, okay. He was a director for several parts of Mando.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he directed this episode, which is why that's
it might be. He's the guy that was in a lot of behind the scenes stuff. That's where I recognized.
He did. Yeah,
once I actually read the caption,
he did a couple episodes of Mando. Obviously, he got to start with Marvel and doing all those movies. But we don't know what this movie is going to be about. So
we don't even know the plot yet, according to this. So
this one, Rogue Squadron. Don't know how this one's going to work out. Given all of the drama behind the scenes between Patty Jenkins and Kathleen Kennedy, because this was supposed to be out pretty soon. But obviously, those two did not agree on some things, and it is now, as you can see, out undated. So,
I
probably won't be getting that one for a while.
Patty Jenkins, just saying.
I don't know. I'm excited for it if it does come, just because she seems pretty, competent, and she seems to care a lot about it. Yeah. So I'm pretty excited for that one. This one, I'm super excied for.
I've never even heard of this one.
Yeah, the Acolyte. So
wasn't that an old WWE wrestler?
Might have been. Takes place before
the High Republic, so before Episode 1.
Mm-hmm. And it's supposed to focus on the dark side.
Ooh, this is when to the Jedi the Sith were still in secret.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking we see Plagueis.
Oh,
that's
dude.
That's what I'm hoping, at least.
That would be so cool.
That could be cool.
Yeah. See, if possible, if Ian McDiarmid's in good health, to be able to see him come back and play a young Sheik Palpatine or Sheev Palpatine, that'd be cool.
Yeah. I'm super excited for this one. And then Kevin Feige's Star Wars.
Oh, he's getting his own movie? Sweet.
Yep.
Who is this?
The from Marvel.
In charge of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. He's getting a Star Wars movie.
He is the guy that is behind almost every Marvel movie.
I've only seen, I think, 2 or 3 of them. I've seen 2 of the Iron Mans and Black Panther. So,
James, do you have Disney Plus?
I do, but I don't like superheroes.
I know
dude.
you don't like.
Care.
Listen. I'm getting away from Star Wars for 2 seconds to tell you this.
You're gonna tell me to spend 300 hours of my life watching movies
No, I'm not. I'm not. Listen, just for the beauty of the movies, you'll be lost. You won't know anything that's happening in the movies, but go watch.
No, I can't do that. I can't. This is why I like Star Wars so much, is because I'm invested in the universe. Like, if I'm going to do it, if I'm going to get into Marvel, I have to get into Marvel from step 1 and go all in. And I'm not ready to do that yet.
Okay. I was going to say,
maybe someday.
Infinity War and Endgame. I love Star Wars. I love Indiana Jones, Harry Potter. Those are 2 of the best movies that I have ever witnessed.
I don't like movies because they're good movies. I like movies because they do well with the universe.
And they did with the Marvel.
Then
universe.
If I don't know the universe, then I'm not just going to jump into those.
And
maybe someday.
They all came from that man. So just imagine what he's going to be able to do with Star Wars.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
I'd be interested in anything he's going to write in Star Wars.
There's a lot of excitement surrounding his movie. Just because of what he's been able to do with Marvel and the MCU and all that. As for what he's doing, I don't know for sure. But I could see an Old Republic maybe, or even Taika Waititi, his movie. I think his is going to be Old Republic. Just because when they initially announced Taika's movie, the logo that they used was looked like made out of stone, and it looked very old, and it just gave off Old Republic vibes. So that's what I'm going off of. So I think he's going to be Old Republic. As for Kevin Feige's, I have no idea.
Now, Jason, I have a question for you. For both of you, actually. You guys have both played Star Wars games, video games.
Yes.
Okay.
Fallen Order's coming out next year, I believe.
Yep.
The new
with a different name.
Yes.
Or Jedi. It's Star Wars Jedi something. Yeah.
So
I think it's Jedi Survivor. Or something.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, do you think that a movie adaptation of a Star Wars video game, such as Fallen Order or The Force Awakens, which was a great friend, which I personally love those games.
Wait, Force Awakens, you mean Force Unleashed?
Force Unleashed, yes. Sorry. Do you think that those games could potentially have success in the movie realm?
I would say this is just my personal opinion. I'd say keep Fallen Order the way it is, because it was made in an era where very real narrative was given to video games. I say keep Fallen Order as a video game. Force Unleashed, maybe. I'd say possibly, because I haven't played that game. I haven't played Force Unleashed or Force Unleashed 2 in so long, and they just released it on Switch, so actually I'm going to get it once I get a decent paycheck. But I'd love to go back and play it, but I can't see them doing anything to Fallen Order. Fallen Order should be kind of like the video game. And that's what I agree. I agree. Fallen Order was such a great game, they shouldn't touch it. Force Unleashed had a little bit of a storyline, but it also, with words. The game we were literally just talking about. Fallen Unleashed.
Fallen Order. I mean, we see some actual characters, from the Star Wars universe. In Force Unleashed, you actually fight Darth Vader. Could you tie that in?
The only thing with the Force Unleashed and bringing Starkiller in is I don't know how you would do it, just because Starkiller is so powerful and pretty OP. So that's my only thing. I think seeing I think seeing Cal Kestis live action would be more likely than seeing Starkiller.
I mean, they already have the perfect actor for Fallen Order. Like, it's the guy that was on. It was the guy that was on Shameless, right?
He was on a bunch of things.
Yeah.
I mean, but you could say the same thing for Force Awakens.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I don't know why, but I'm blanking.
I know.
Sam Witwer. Sam Witwer.
Did they just
say the same
him,
thing for him?
So it was the character of Cal based off of him anyway?
I mean,
I don't know what the real life voice actor looks like, but
yeah, it's so
yeah.
Cal Kestis' actor, I don't know his name off the top of my head. I'm a terrible person, but that's what he looks like in real life. Same goes for Starkiller and Sam Witwer.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think, and there's a lot of people who want to see Cal Kestis in live action. There's a lot of people that want to see Starkiller live action too, but I just don't. I think Starkiller would be too OP to bring in. So, I mean, he's literally. I can't remember.
I mean, spoiler alert! You win.
Hold on, yeah, I was gonna say, don't get too heavy in spoilers here.
No, but, just the game.
Yeah, but
the game was on 360. We're on 2 different Xboxes after that.
Oh, I understand that. But for my own personal sake, it just came out on Switch. I'm gonna play it again. So
okay, sorry.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it. They're both really good games.
Yeah.
Same with Fallen Order.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I would hazard to say Fallen Order was my favorite Star Wars game that I've played.
I would probably say the same thing.
Best story-driven game, the best
100%.
The best Star Wars game of all time is Star Wars Battlefront 2, the one from 2005. And if anybody argues with me, you're wrong.
Yep.
But yeah, Star Wars Battlefront 2, best game ever made. It
is the only game that I herald more for the multiplayer than anything else. And for me, I think it's legitimately the only game I put value in the multiplayer for.
Yes.
Like, I play every other game offline, single player, no matter what, not for the random stuff on the side, but for the story, except Battlefront 2.
Yes, I agree with that.
And we want to wrap it up here, boys.
Yeah. Sounds about that time. Bo's sleepy.
I am. I'm very tired. I apologize for the yawn in the microphone, ladies and gentlemen.
I can cut that out, so you're good.
Okay. But yeah, I think it's about time for us to wrap up for the night. We will be back next week with another episode of the Deep Impact, not the Soft Landing podcast.
The Soft Landing.
Well, we should be. Hopefully, we'll be back to full force next week. Jason, tell your brother-in-law to get his shit together. Tell him to go
tell his allergies to fuck off. Come on.
Yeah, go tell him to take some Zyrtec or some. You can go tell him to take something. Get that little nasal.
Well, it's okay. He got home from work yesterday and took NyQuil instead of Dayquil. So he got out of the bathroom and he was like, "I just made a really tired mistake."
It's 5:30 and I'm going to bed.
Oh, that's great. But yeah, so we're gonna sign off for the night. But you guys can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Deep Impact Podcast. Just go in the search bar, just type it in. You'll be able to find us. Go to Spotify, Deep Impact Podcast, Apple Podcast. Almost said Apple Music. Apple Podcast, Deep Impact Podcast. YouTube. Go like and follow. Make sure you hit the bell.
Ding.
Sorry, I should have pointed down for that one. But yeah, go like, subscribe. Go tell us what you would like to see us draft in the coming weeks. We have a draft board, but we can always add more. We always
please.
Yes, because all of our minds put together are not all that creative all the time.
Or ever.
So we need some help.
90s country was it.
So yeah, we're gonna, you know what? Let's draft best Blackstone griddle recipes next week.
Bye.
Let's not.
I'm kidding. I have a book sitting right on my desk. Okay, so let us know what you want to see us draft, and we'll see you guys same time, same place.
Love you.